The tale of Babylon's garden. In the ancient city of Babylon, known for its towering walls and magnificent palaces, there lived a young girl named Leila. Babylon was a city of wonders, with its grand structures and the famous hanging gardens, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The gardens were said to be a paradise on earth, filled with lush plants and cascading waterfalls, and were a source of great pride for the Babylonians. Leila lived with her family in a modest home near the market. Her father, Eram, was a gardener who worked in the hanging gardens. He would often tell Leila stories about the exotic plants and beautiful flowers he tended. Leila loved hearing about the gardens and dreamed of visiting them one day. One evening, as the sun set over Babylon, Leila's father came home with exciting news. "Leila," he said, his eyes shining with pride, "tomorrow, you will come with me to the hanging gardens. You've grown up so much, and it's time you see the place I've told you so much about." Leila could hardly contain her excitement. She had heard so many stories about the gardens, but now she would finally see them with her own eyes. She spent the night dreaming of the wonders she would encounter. The next morning, Leila and her father set off early, walking through the bustling streets of Babylon. They passed by merchants selling spices, fabrics, and pottery. The air was filled with the sounds of haggling and the scent of exotic spices. As they approached the entrance to the hanging gardens, Leila's heart raced with anticipation. The gardens were even more magnificent than Leila had imagined. She was greeted by the sight of vibrant flowers, towering trees, and flowing streams. Birds of all colors flitted among the branches, and the air was cool and fragrant with the scent of blossoms. Leila felt as if she had stepped into a dream. Eram guided Leila through the gardens, showing her the different plants and explaining their origins. "These are roses from Persia," he said, pointing to a bush of delicate pink flowers. "And these are lotus flowers from Egypt, known for their beauty and fragrance." Leila listened intently, absorbing every word. She was fascinated by the diversity of the plants and the care her father took in tending to them. As they walked, they came upon a secluded corner of the garden where a small, crystal-clear pond shimmered in the sunlight. "This is my favorite spot," Eram said softly. "It's a place of peace and reflection. I come here whenever I need to think or find solace." Leila knelt by the pond and gazed into the water, mesmerized by its clarity. "It's beautiful, father. I can see why you love it here." As they continued their tour, Leila noticed a section of the garden that seemed neglected. The plants were wilted, and the soil was dry. "What happened here?" she asked, concerned. Eram sighed. "This part of the garden has been difficult to maintain. The water supply doesn't reach here as well as it should, and the plants have suffered. I've tried to revive it, but it needs more care and attention than I can give alone." Leila looked at her father, determination in her eyes. "I want to help, father. I'll come with you every day and do whatever I can to bring this part of the garden back to life." Eram smiled proudly at his daughter. "Your help would mean a lot, Leila. Together, we can make a difference." From that day on, Leila and her father worked side by side in the gardens. They brought water to the neglected plants, enriched the soil, and carefully tended to each flower and tree. It was hard work, but Leila was motivated by her love for the gardens and her desire to help her father. As the days turned into weeks, the neglected section of the garden began to thrive. The plants regained their strength, and new flowers blossomed. The transformation was remarkable, and visitors to the hanging gardens marveled at the renewed beauty. One afternoon, as Leila and Eram stood admiring their work, the king of Babylon himself arrived to inspect the gardens. He was impressed by what he saw and approached Eram and Leila. "You have done a wonderful job," the king said, his voice full of admiration. "The hanging gardens are more beautiful than ever. Who is responsible for this transformation?" Eram bowed respectfully. "Your Majesty, it is my daughter, Leila, who has worked tirelessly to revive this section of the garden. Her dedication and hard work have brought new life to these plants." The king looked at Leila with a smile. "You have a gift, young lady. Your love for the gardens is evident, and your efforts have not gone unnoticed. From this day forward, you shall be an honorary gardener of Babylon, and your work will be celebrated by all." Leila's heart swelled with pride and joy. "Thank you, Your Majesty. It is an honor to care for these gardens, and I will continue to do my best." As the sun set over Babylon, casting a golden glow over the city, Leila stood with her father in the heart of the hanging gardens. She felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that she had played a part in preserving the beauty of this wonder of the world. The tale of Leila and the revival of the hanging gardens spread throughout Babylon, inspiring others to appreciate and care for the natural world. Through her hard work and dedication, Leila showed that even the smallest efforts could make a significant impact and that the love and care of one person could help preserve the wonders of the world for generations to come.